This wonderful looking device is a white steam injector of a Foden steam lorry. Its job is to inject water into the steam boiler. It does this by a magical method of coolants inside of there. I've sort of got my head round the idea of how it works. It's a really clever idea. There's no moving parts at all inside of this. It's all done by magic, by pressures and by flows and volumes. It's got one or two little issues. The main one is that there's a one-way valve in there, a clack valve, and that's leaking back. It hasn't been stripped for a long time, so I'm going to strip it down, probably get it vapor blasted, clean it all up, put it back together, lapping in the valve is necessary. It's had a repair done there, it's been brazed in the past, but this is 100-year-old. You've got to remember we're working with some really old gear. So I'm going to be careful stripping it. We really can't afford to damage anything. I've got it in the vise. The first thing I'll take out is this valve. That's an isolator valve which turns it off. Well, that was a lot simpler than I thought it would have been. I didn't expect that to come out of there like that, you know what I mean. It's a straightforward taper seat valve which fits onto a taper seat in there. I'll strip that, lap it in and repack it. You can see there's actually wear on there, but it has been sealing alright. That wasn't an issue, but if I'm going to do it, I might as well do the job properly. That's where the clack valve is. I've actually had that out. That put up a little bit of a fight, so we'll have a look inside there now. I'll do it that way, then you can possibly see a bit better. So I have had it out so it'll not be tight. I'll bring the camera in so you can see a little bit closer. That's a little valve in there. It's got a slot in it so you can put a screw down in it and turn it to lap it in. This will be on a tapered seat. That's the valve there and that's the seat. It's got one or two pit marks on it. It's marked there. There's a lot of lime scale inside of this. The seat looks good. There's no sometimes there's a little spring in there, a little stainless steel spring. That doesn't appear to have been a one, but there is room for one. So I think next I'm going to try and take out these two plugs. The cones are inside of here. That one's actually marked. It's got an ear stamped on there. It's important that they go back together the way they come to bits. We can get it in the vise quite nicely that way. And some big adjustables on here. That was remarkably easy. There's another sealing washer on there. There is like a thin fibre washer. That's one of the cones. Right, oh, it has come out. See, we're going to be so careful stripping this. Right, so that's come out like that, and that is that's an interesting part. little spool valve. I'm going to use this video to help us put it back together. Obviously I can see which way things go. There's no marks on there, so I'm probably stamp a little E on there to go with the nut that come off there and keep them all together. There's nothing else loose inside of there. See the tapered core and the tapered nozzle. This is pretty in good condition. It's a lot cleaner than I expected. But it wasn't giving any problems. It was injecting water fine, so far so good. So there is a very thin paper gasket or paper joint on there. I'm going to take this tap out. That's a water tap, like a tapered cock. There's two nuts on here. One's a check nut. Look what threads are. Quite tight on the threads. That doesn't want to come out. It doesn't want to come off rather. It doesn't like it. I really had to get this apart so I can lap the valve in, but it doesn't want to come off there at all. The threads don't look damaged. Oh, doesn't like it. John. That'll be work with us. I'll run a dye down there just to clean them threads up, just to make sure. I'm trying to get a dyno to go on the backwards because it's a tighter thread on the back of the die nut. It's 3/8 Whitworth, there's nothing the matter with that, so. Right, that's not going to come off. Simple as that, it just doesn't want to play it. I'm going to try a little bit of heat on it. I would like to get that valve out and lap it in. A little bit of warmth sometimes helps. Yeah, I think we've got it. A bit of perseverance. You haven't got to forget you're playing with stuff here that's virtually irreplaceable. So anything I break, I've got to repair. But we don't want to be breaking things on something like this. Just that little bit of heat made all the difference. And the tap's in good condition. You see how it works, it's just a straightforward tapered seat in there. Right, that's basically now we're bare casting. I can take it across to my friend and get it vapor blasted, and it should come up like a new one, really. Certainly an interesting braze and repair that's happened there. It's probably been frozen up and burst with a frost. We'll leave that well alone. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and always a massive thanks for the well wishes that have been coming in. And everybody, I wish us all the best for 2024. I hope it's a good one. Anyway, thanks for watching.